Brakti Yahweh, Brakti Yahushai, Brakti Yahweh, Brakti Yahushai, Brakti Yahweh, Brakti Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Chakwadash. That belongs to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to hopeful elect out there, you Akim to Zadakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. The priest Shimon. I didn't manage to put together some scriptures before going to the gym, so I just grabbed 2nd Ezra 9, gonna read through it, just gonna flow through the spirit, gonna prophesy, on current events, man, just building basically off this chapter. So 2nd Ezra 9:1 reads, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the times diligently in itself. Right? So measuring the time diligently in itself. Now what does that entail? That means looking at current events and seeing what ties into the scriptures. Okay? And what possibly could be the next move, what's next on the agenda, the things that we should look out for. And then, when I say tied to the scriptures, there's certain scriptures, that specifically deal with some of the things we're going to see in the end times, like Matthew the 24th chapter, Jeremiah 50 and 51 concerning Babylon, 2nd Ezra 9, 2nd Ezra 15. So, Matthew's, again, 24, house divided, been bringing that out. A lot of stuff has been coming out. This guy Trump is in, and this guy got shit turned, man. It's like every second you're trying to do a lesson, it's another new topic out there. So there's just so much happening, and it's really not so much him, but the Most High, the Heavenly Father, speeding things up, that we may be delivered, Lord will, expediting that deliverance, man. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, earthquakes in diverse places, wars, rumors of wars, different tensions. Speaking of tension, there's a lot of tension between, how Trump views NATO and the EU. When you look at a situation like that, you can't help but think about Revelations, the 16th chapter concerning the beast, hate, and the whore. And what's his particular gripe with NATO and the EU? Well, America is paying a bulk of it. America subsidized NATO. This is something I've been saying for a very long time, man. That look, damn near over 70% of the NATO's military is the United States. Now, the United States can use NATO as a proxy, to hedge against its enemies, right? Like Russia, right? You could have NATO forces, which are in that region still, because technically speaking, once the USSR was dismantled, there shouldn't technically be any NATO. There shouldn't be any NATO expansion, but yet we're still seeing that. And according to Article 5, all right, and with Article 5 too, if one NATO member goes to war, then another member can go to war. Again, they don't have to go to war. When you read Article 3 and 5, it's not specifically saying it's mandated that they go to war, but they do have license to, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, paying a bulk of it while the other nations do not. That's what he's about. I want to say something too concerning Trump's whole America First view. So far, and again, I'm just going based on what I have seen, not how I feel, just what I've seen. He is doing things in America's best interest, okay? Except if it comes to for Israel, okay, the state of Israel. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing he puts Israel, then he puts America. Hence these particular different agreements that he's making with these different nations and reciprocal tariffs. I did do a lesson speaking on tariffs. Tariffs do not have a direct correlation to inflation, all right? Inflation is an increase in the money supply, and China and Mexico cannot increase the money supply unless they have a U.S. mint, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't directly correlate to inflation. Also, too, it's reciprocal inflation, meaning, it's reciprocal tariffs, meaning if you lower yours against me, I'll lower mine against yours. So that, in theory, should help out, different people in America, what have you, I still think, that peace and safety play is still being in play, if you will. It says, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is at the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And the Most High is fastly approaching. Like I said, the major prophecies that are fighting microchip coming to pass. And we've seen, speaking of measuring the time diligently, okay, we have seen that the United States government is adopting stable coins. You know, stable coins, which stablecoin would be a digital ledger, okay, pegged to some form of currency, right? I am of the belief that, you know, concerning the RFID microchip, you don't necessarily have to collapse the dollar. Why? Because the RFID microchip is a payment system, okay? It's just transitioning from one payment system to the next. No different from token to MetroCard, from MetroCard to Omni system, and so on and so forth. Just like this, just like the E-ZPass system, right? When you used to drive through the E-ZPass, you would have to use cash. Then cash became, oh, some of them could scan if you have the E-ZPass thing. And now there's no people at the booth, no nothing. You just driving through. So, you know, I don't even put my E-ZPass thing up. So that's how far it's gone, and it takes time for that to happen. So you have different stable coins like Tether. Some people speculate XRP or what have you, because they have you know, Fed Chairman Powell testified and said, look, we're not going the route of CBDC, central bank digital currency. It's just something that's way down the line. Okay, he has said stablecoin has made sense. By the way, Fed Chairman Powell is the head of the Federal Reserve currently, you know, and I mean, in essence, it's still the same thing, right? I mean, the only thing with the central bank digital currency is a central bank will monitor every single transaction you do, and they'll still be acting as a mediary. Where in a stable coin, it's not exactly that, you know. But with the stable coin, what they could do is also adopt a whole bunch of digital ledgers. Like I said, mandate that RFID microchip. It's already pegged to a digital asset, whatever stable coin they use. Okay, it doesn't have to be. It could be whatever Tether, whatever stable coin. They have over 10,000 of them. You know what I'm saying? So it's not easy. It's not that hard for them to create a digital asset, any sort of stable coin, and peg it to the United States dollar, okay, which is the world reserve currency. You know, they typically tend to use gradualism, but they could also use a black swan event, okay, some sort of catastrophic event, whether synthetic or organic, all right, to further their agenda, which is to mandate that RFID microchip, which is already in circulation. People are out there using this in different parts of the world to pay things and do certain things. But I believe they're going to offer it to do more than just that, you know, whether it be to power your car, go into your house, some sort of means of identification, whatever, you know. You also got Elon Musk, which is big on Neuralink. I gotta say this too, Elon Musk is not the only one working on chip implants. You have several different companies doing it, you know. But what's interesting with Elon is, you know, he has a direct relationship with the President of the United States. So, and he's openly said he wants millions of people to have brain implants. Now he markets it as, you know, Neuralink brain implants to benefit people in terms of if you're paralyzed, you can move your limbs again, which is true. You know, if you could probably do those things, because they have done things like that. But there's a cost for that when you read Revelations, the 14th chapter, all right, the 8th verse on down. If you have this man put any sort of chip in you, any sort of chip like that, is that penalty is a lake of fire, all right, thermonuclear destruction. So we're not going to do anything like that. Lord willing, the Most High doesn't put the spirit on and any brother to do that. We much rather just take death, if that be the case, than to bow down to this man's image, okay, this new world order system. Let me keep reading verse 3. It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, and we see that, okay, there's always going to be uprisings and uproars of the people. You have people protesting here in America, right? The left, Democrats, if you will, protested against Trump. But I'll tell you something. Let's say Trump was assassinated and killed and Biden got in, then the right would be saying, you know, they killed him, and it'll be the same particular outcome, uproar, however the side played out. You know what I'm saying? But the Most High had it play out how it's playing out now. It says, and also there's also protests against Israel. Like I said, this stuff is going to be setting up, well, like the scripture says, this stuff is setting up Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, man, all right? Because you got Israel, Saudi Arabia, and the United States, these allies, okay, all right, that are causing different tensions throughout the world, okay, that when these nations combine themselves to retaliate, because that's the only way. You know, let's face it, America is the most powerful military and the wealthiest, richest nation, not even close, by like literally by far. You know what I'm saying? Damn near almost close to double the GDP of China. So it's going to take them to combine, okay, to to take this bitch out, and they will do that. It says, pursuant to scriptures like Obadiah, them that have eaten thy bread with thee is going to pretty much turn on you, roughly paraphrasing. Okay? It says, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before, even from the beginning. Right? The Most High, the scriptures tell you, he declared the end from the beginning. Okay? So this whole thing that we live in, it's predetermined. All right? Life, everything we see before has already been predetermined. When we read these scriptures, you hear prophets speak about the destruction in the past tense, meaning it already happened. In another dimension, it already did. We're just having to have it play out. It says, for like as all is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. So we are in the end times. I mean, the moment Yahushua stepped foot on earth, and this is in the book of Hebrews, that we have been in these last days. Okay, so we are in the end times. I mean, look at where technology is, because technology has to advance for the scriptures to advance, right? The furthering of technology is the furthering of prophecy, and we're very far, man. We're very far ahead. Like, I mean, we just remain impatient, but it's good to see the things that we speak about and prophesy about. It's not something like on some conspiracy shit anymore. It's like literally you can see the shit right in front of you. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? A lot of conspiracies, all right, a lot of them end up being accurate. Some of them end up being bullshit, because you do have double agents or counterintelligence that put out false narratives. So you think what they do is this: they bomb, like, let's say you have legitimate conspiracies with actual journalism and you can prove the facts. Well, guess what? They'll mix that up and bombard that with a bunch of different conspiracies, man. I think a good example I could use is like 9/11. There's legitimate documentation can prove the involvement between the CIA, the FBI, British intelligence, Saudi intelligence, German intelligence, having well-known knowledge of what was going to take place on 9/11. But the moment you try to bring these stuff out, guess what? People are going to tell you the planes are holograms and nanothermite and all this type of shit. It's just like it all gets jumbled up together to where it's like they did their job. Now you don't know what the fuck to believe. You know what I'm saying? So, but no, a lot of stuff, conspiracies also be true. And it mainly comes down to what aligns with the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? I guess I'll read the last verse. It says, "Even so, the times also have the highest. Salaka. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works, and endings in effect and signs." Look, I was only able to get 6 verses in 2nd Ezra 9, but you know what? The work is the work, man. As long as he's able to prophesy and bring out something, So, it's a quick one. I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashim Rachah Kodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there. You Akim to the Dakim that do this thing in the most truth and sincerity. Shalom.